I've gotten rid of almost everything I own in the past year. Not to exaggerate, but it truly changed my life for the better. At first, it was obvious why. Less stuff meant less time organizing, less time looking for things, and more space, time, and money for myself. But now I'm starting to realize that the change was much bigger than that. With the things I decluttered, I also left behind what they represented: bad habits, consumerist lifestyle, scarcity mindset, amongst many other things. It was undeniable that the stuff I owned had a strong connection to my mental state of being. And by decluttering, I realized I was also shedding a part of myself. Today, I thought I would share with you the things I got rid of to live my best life, physical things and the mindset I left behind with them. I'm an empath, and I've always cared deeply about what people think of me. I'm not ashamed to admit it, and truthfully, I think we all care to some degree. But for me, it only became a problem when it got in the way of living by my personal values. When I first started decluttering, I looked for things I rarely ever used. Heels, hats, jewelry, because I never wore them. Lots of makeup and skincare products that I only used a handful of times. Books that were recommended to me, but never read. None of these things were me. And that's when I realized how much I prioritized creating an image of my life for other people's perception and validation, rather than my own contentment. When you get rid of the excess, you find out who you really are. I learned pretty quickly that I don't mind wearing my favorite clothes over and over again. I like having a simple and quick makeup and skincare routine, and I prefer having a house that feels like a peaceful sanctuary. With those things I let go of, I also gave up living to create an image of my life for others. I realized that no amount of validation will feel as good as living my own truth. Before making my move, I got rid of a lot of things that just didn't align with who I am today and who I am becoming. I finally got rid of my college books because I knew I was never going to read them again. Clothing items that I've outgrown, old vinyls, paintings, and art supplies that once gave me a lot of joy, but didn't anymore. And if it doesn't align with who I am today, then I don't have space for it in my life. This is one of the reasons why I don't feel the need to own things anymore. My interests, hobbies, and tastes are constantly changing. And if I were to buy everything I was into at that moment, I probably couldn't keep up with those expenses. So what's my solution? Well, it's been really fun and challenging to find ways to enjoy things without actually buying it. That's why I appreciate libraries, secondhand stores, clothing rental services, or any rental services for that matter. I still get the value out of the item, but once I'm done with it, I can return it for the next person to enjoy. Look around your space and ask yourself, are there things that are no longer a part of you? Maybe they are getting in the way of your growth. Seeing all the things I decluttered, it was clear that I lived my life with a scarcity mindset. Thinking, if I don't buy this now, I will never find another one just like it. If I don't have this, my life won't be quite the same. This mindset is rooted in fear and anxiousness, and I noticed how small it made me and my world. I ended up getting rid of a lot of serums and masks that I bought because I didn't think my skin was good enough. The dress I didn't need, but bought it because it was on sale. Those shoes, books, pots, and pans I bought because I thought I would be missing out if I didn't. I know, it's silly. Trust me, I spent a lot of time thinking, why did I do this to myself? But I did learn a huge lesson. Material things can only be a temporary cover-up for what's truly missing in our lives. In my reset video, I told you guys that my word for this year is abundance. I want this to be at the center of all of my decisions. And I'm slowly finding out that abundance starts with contentment. There's a sense of peace that comes over us when we realize that our past can never fully leave us, the good and the bad. And the best we can do is accept it and continue to move through life. I let go a lot of things from my past, letters and notes from my childhood friends, souvenirs and knickknacks from family trips, and very few medals and trophies I've won in the past. I didn't get rid of everything, but a lot of it. I went through my collection and handpicked the ones that were truly irreplaceable. But through the process, I realized I didn't need these things to remind me of those precious memories. They're all a part of who I am today. Sometimes I'll see, hear, or smell something that triggers a certain time in my past, and I just try to enjoy it for that moment. I think of these as little treasures that life throws at us to remind us of the journey that we've already been on. And for me, this is enough. So, look through your memory box and see what you're holding on to and ask yourself, why? Remember, that memory already has a permanent place within you. You guys know that for me, minimalism is not so much about living with less, but it's more about living intentionally. It's about living a life that is designed with a purpose and that is in line with my values and beliefs. And I knew that if I wanted to achieve this lifestyle, I had to get rid of the fillers of my life. We all use filler words when we're trying to think of words to say. It's just a noise that we make to fill in the gap. Well, I noticed that I use a lot of fillers in different areas of my life. People I would casually chat with just to pass the time, random decor pieces and plants to fill the emptiness, to-do lists that keep me busy without actually doing any work. The thing about fillers is that there's no substance to them. They don't move you in any way or provide a specific purpose. It's there, but it wouldn't make a difference if it wasn't. I know not everything can be so meaningful, but getting rid of these fillers seemed like a pretty good start. Sometimes what makes the biggest difference is not what we do, but what we don't do. Not what we say, but what we don't say. Not what we have, but what we don't have. The choice is ours.